Hi, this is Ushio, and welcome back to Angels with Scaly Wings. We're on to Chapter 4 of the Requiem mod series. So, what has happened so far? All kinds of stuff. So let's get into this. This is going to be cool. Morning, morning. I awoke to the soft, gentle touch of Anna's pearly white scales pressed against my face. Normally, I'd be staring at the ceiling around this time, feeling a sense of dread from a nightmare I no longer remembered, but not this time. Almost like a prickly guardian angel, Anna watched over my dreams last night, the steady thrum of her heartbeat shielding my sanity. Morning. Good morning to you too. I muster all my strength to pull away from her soft, scaly body and sit up, rubbing the remaining sands of dreaming out of my eyes. I see you slept well. Better than ever. Good to hear. The last few times I was here, you tended to toss and turn every now and then in your sleep, but this time you slept like a rock. I guess that explains how you always seem to end up on top of me by the morning. You keep telling me how I need to take it easy, but it definitely looks like the one who needs it is you. I'll relax once everyone's safe. And how's that going? Well, you haven't updated me on your cancer situation since you said it went into remission thanks to the cure a week ago. Lorem avoided a watery grave recently, and Remy seems to have pulled himself together. We'll see after today if Bryce is going to be fine, which just leaves Adine. What's up with her? Thanks to Naomi, we managed to prevent her wing injury, so she's actually going to participate in the competition this timeline. I see. Yeah, I can't wait to finally see her actually manage to show her skills off. And how do you suppose to see if Bryce is going to be okay? Under normal circumstances, today would be the day we'd investigate Reza's hideout after Maverick gives us some clues. He'd have a generator rigged as a makeshift bomb in there, and if Bryce went in first, he'd be gone. But since last I heard that he's in the clink, there are no generators reported missing, which means you're not going anywhere today. We don't know that yet. Doorbell, what's this? Right on cue. What's this plot twist that's coming? Oh, hey, not who I expected to see right now. Morning. I've been told at the production facility that Anna should be with you. Is she still here? I mean, yes, I am. What is it? I've got an urgent letter from your lawyer. It's a court summons citing you as the plaintiff, if I've been informed correctly. Oh, excellent. That means Damien's about to be put on trial. I just need your signature right here and I'll leave it to you. Cool, no problem. There you go. Thanks. Oh, and Ushio, thanks again for warning me last time. Anytime, Lorem. I'll leave you two to it then. See you guys next time. Take care. Good day. Alright, good. Bye. Well, that was certainly unexpected. Yeah, in any other circumstance, is Lorem really friends with Anna at any given point? I don't think so. So I don't know. Lorem's kind of like their own deal. They don't have many crossing overs with a lot of the other cast members. What do you mean? What did you expect? I kind of expected Sebastian to show up and tell me where to go. This is a nice surprise at least. Yeah, let's see what my lawyer's cooked up. Okay, I watched silently as Anna flips through the pages. Her lawyer sure did type up a storm for that one. There's at least 7 pages of legalese jargon text that I can barely even understand. What I do understand, however, is that I've been named as a key witness and one of the investigators in it, along with Maverick as my supervisor. Wow, I might need to speak to Bryce about this. Yeah, you should. It says here you're one of the investigators, and our relationship might create some questions. You think Damien's side might try to insinuate that I'm biased? Well, are you? I mean, I might be. Right. Well, we need to find some way to alleviate concerns of bias, or else they might try to pull you out of the case. I mean, we've got all the evidence, so hopefully that will be enough. Either as an investigator or as a witness, this isn't exactly good for our case. Still, the evidence you've turned up with Maverick's airtight. Even if Damien's lawyer would try to make a stink about our relationship, Sebastian can still vouch for you, since he was the one who took our statements. That, and I still have diplomatic immunity, so they can't countersue me for assault. Right. Either way, you and I should meet up with my lawyer sometime. It's best to consult a professional and ask her for her opinions and let her do the strategizing. I'll see what I can do. You better. This concerns you just as much as it does me. Still, we've got time. This is just the preliminary information, and the summons say we got 3 weeks. Okay, what do you think our chances are? Be honest. With my lawyer, it's a slam dunk, no question about it. That's reassuring. It is. Either way, I'll get going soon. Even if you don't think you can meet up with her for now, I'm not about to dilly-dally on this. Good luck. I don't need luck. And off she goes. I'll see you later. See you too, darling. Oh, darling, they're very cozy in their relationship now. Okay, another day, another set of messages blown up my... Huh? Suddenly, a shiver runs down my spine as I feel that strange cold sensation I felt twice before. It's so familiar by this point, but yet I still cannot help but feel creeped out as I rub my hands together for warmth. As I close my eyes, I see sprinklings of snow and feel the cold bite of winter on my skin, chilling me to the very bone. I can't go on. Adine, Remy. Someone, anyone, please help. Can anyone hear me? I gasp loudly for air as the chill on my body subsides. That was the voice of someone I've only heard once before. Is this a spirit? Is someone here? I'm impressed. You're a special one. I ball my fists as I mull over everything that I just witnessed. The memories, that cry for help. That wasn't my voice. Looks like I can't let Izmi get in my way after all. I'm gonna need a plan, and fast. The situation's getting worse by the day, with this ghostly apparition haunting us. I pulled the gun out from my cupboard and put it back on my belt with the appropriate holster. While I do so, I start putting together all the knowledge and leverage I have in this timeline and try to figure out a way to deal with Amelia's spirit. The only thing I can think of that is plausible is to try and convince Ibsen to do the same to the portal in this timeline as this other version did in the other timeline. Looks like I'm going to have to put things off with the guys for a bit. I'm going to need to get everyone on board with this idea, and that means I need to call everybody together soon and explain the situation. I'm definitely going to need help. Even if Ibsen calibrates the portal, there's no way Izmi is going to just let us do it without consequences. Consequences? What a funny word. I'm going to need to convince Lorem's roommate that my intentions are good, and there's still the matter of Adine. Those two can't wait. Bryce, Anna and Remy can for now. Getting them on board with this insane plan that I just threw together is going to be another matter entirely. I quickly check the answering machine for any messages just to get them out of the way. Who we got? Oh, Adine, you coming to see the show? It's going to happen pretty soon, you know? I trained so much for this, you wouldn't believe. Probably harder than I ever trained in my entire life. I really hope you can make it, because I want to show you all I've got. Okay. Oh, it's Anna. I just got to my lawyer's office, and judging by the sounds, this might take a while. I'll send another voicemail once I'm done, so don't waste your time waiting for me until then, but I can assure you, it's nothing you have to worry about. Catch you later. Okay, sounds like she's having fun at least. Lorem, it's me. Do you want to meet up again? I know you're busy, but the summer festival's coming up soon. I'm not saying we should go, but we certainly could if you wanted to. In any case, call me back when you hear this. Nice. Oh, it's Bryce. Want to meet up, go somewhere? Just the two of us. I just want to get out of my crummy temporary apartment. I'm sure we could think of something fun. I know we didn't exactly stand on the most right of feet at the barbecue because of what Jean and I said about Anna, but I feel like we should still try to have a good time. And Remy, I just wanted to remind you about the summer festival. It's going to start any day now, so I hope you can make it. It would be nice to go there with you. I'm not sure how you feel about this, but I usually try to avoid the crowds. In any case, please let me know if you want to go. After what I'm planning, I don't think you want to go with me anymore, Remy. So just sit tight, buddy. Hey, and Naomi, I figured after what happened during our diving, we should get together for something a bit less physically exerting and peaceful. So, just to keep the timeline consistent, why don't we finish off your usual 2-week stay in our world with a little pool party, just the two of us? I promise I won't try any funny business. That might have to wait a while. I don't think I can delay on this one. I guess there's only one thing to do, get some help. With the Dean safe, Anna at her lawyer, Bryce wanting to drink with me, and Remy needing my help, the only option here is to get Lorem and Ipsum to cooperate. So let's go. Let's make our choices. We're going to hang out with Lorem, I think. Yeah. Hey. Thanks for inviting me over, and just like you asked, I even brought someone with me. He's a fabulous guy. Greetings. Good to see you, Ipsum. Come right in, both of you. I don't think Ipsum's ever been to our place before either. So this is where you live. You already got a glimpse when you delivered Reza's letter and Anna's summons, remember? Yeah, but back then, I didn't really notice anything. I was kinda nervous. Why were you nervous? Well, there was the fact that I was going to speak to a human, plus I didn't know if you'd actually listen to what I had to say. And then I also wondered if I was going to remember everything I wanted to tell you, or worse, if I get thrown out again like when I talked to Reza. You actually talked to that guy? Well, not really. He just kinda took the letter I had for him and closed the door, but that was before you arrived here. Do you know who sent the letter? Came through the portal, so I assume it was from a human. I see. I wonder though, if that letter had any significance. That's why I was asking. Reza isn't exactly in the best of situations due to his actions, and if we had access to his letters, it would help the police investigation. I'd heard rumours of that. Basically, we don't know much other than that he had ulterior motives that would have sabotaged my mission here, so we're looking for concrete evidence. But that's not why you two are here. We're here to have some fun. Right, and also, we're going to hack the portal, but don't worry about it. In the meantime, I walked over to the shelf I usually keep the X-Men sphere I kept forgetting to take with me. But before we get to anything, I found this in the park some time ago. It might be yours, Ipsum. I took the round object and handed it over to him, who carefully eyed it. Maybe you can figure out if it is. It looks like it's out of batteries. I think I see a charger on the shelf over there. Okay, I'll get that. Ipsum turned the sphere a few times, and then placed it on the base and plugged it in. He touched the base in a peculiar way, and in response, writing appeared on the sphere's surface. Looks like it is mine. Good to know it's safe. Yeah, despite my opinions on it, it's not exactly a cheap piece of tech. So, what can we actually do with it now? Nothing really, unless you know the password. Which I obviously do. I do too, but it's just for emergencies. How long have you been helping the police anyway? Since the day of my arrival, really. Wow, I guess that explains why you've been so busy. I imagine you can't talk about it though. I don't really care anymore. It's because of Anna. Her assistant completely went insane recently and tried to attack her in broad daylight at the lab. I heard about that. There was this massive crash 3 doors down from where I worked, and by the time I got to check what was going on, the police were there and Damien was in handcuffs. That might have been me, actually. What do you mean it might have been you? I was actually there to witness Damien's heinous act, so I grabbed the nearest object I could find, which was a wooden chair. I kinda smashed it over his back to save Anna. Interesting. What happened then? I told Anna to call the cops, and since Damien didn't keep his head down and back-talked to me, I kinda broke his nose. Wow, bit aggressive there, man. I mean, Anna is my girlfriend. I did say we were dating, back when I visited you guys. What would you have done if someone tried to attack your girlfriend? I suppose you do have a point, heat of the moment and all. Anyways, he got arrested, and I helped the police search his house for clues and evidence. Is that why Anna got the court summons? Yeah, she's suing him. But let's change the topic. This isn't what you guys are here for. Right, Lorem tells me you were awfully insistent that I come along with him too. Well, we did talk a bit about your extended read into the topic of the portal and your theories. Oh, and what, pray tell, did you get out of it? Well, Ipsum's gonna love all these secrets coming out. Lorem felt awkwardly silent, glancing toward me to say something. Really? You didn't broach the subject to him at all, Lorem? I mean, I'm still struggling to wrap my head around it to begin with. You kinda have more experience with this sort of stuff. Okay, now I have to know what you two are on about. Spit it out already. So, don't you think it's a bit suspicious how specific my theory about the wormholes in the portal was last time? Not really. Why? Okay, so let's ask another way then. Have you had a strange dream recently where Lorem was mysteriously missing and you felt like you were a witness in a murder case? Or maybe you remember odd explosion-like noises that weren't from your lab one night, but you swear you've never heard such a thing? No way. You're not... Yeah, I am. Okay, but then the question is, why? He's already pieced it all together, he knows. To save my friends from death. All of them. I glanced toward Lorem, who's suddenly blushing. The look is not lost on Ipsum at all. And do you have any idea of the ramifications? More than you could ever know. You want to know the best part? You're complicit. What do you mean? So, repeated use of the portal for time travel causes long-term memory loss. In the last timeline, you were the one who calibrated the portal in a way that let me retain my memories for the previous cycles into this one. So essentially, it's thanks to you that things are the way they are now. And how different are they? So far we got 13 less dead dragons, 1 less serial murderer on the loose, and 1 generator gifted to humanity that's helping hundreds if not thousands of people survive longer than they ever would have without it. Can you name the 13 dragons? Only 11 of them. Remy, Anna, Bryce, Adine, Maverick, Sebastian, Linnea, Malcolm, Vara, Damien, and Lorem. There's also 2 I'd never met. One who was just a random passerby whose corpse I had to investigate with Bryce, Reza's first victim, and an unknown caretaker at the hatchery, those I can't name. Damien and Anna were pretty much interchangeable in the other timelines. If I convinced Anna not to overwork herself to the bone and take some time to rest, Damien would have been murdered, and if not, she'd be gone. Okay, how many timelines did you jump through so far? I've long lost count. There are so many variables that could go wrong. One wrong word, one badly timed question, one step in the wrong direction, and everything could have fallen apart. It's the butterfly effect, isn't it? Let's see. What made you come to this timeline? Remy, Anna, Lorem, Bryce, Adine and Maverick helped me confront Reza, who was trying to steal the underground facilities generator. We stopped him, but the generator got blown up, so the meteor you guys keep hearing about couldn't be stopped. We had to evacuate every dragon to my world, and Anna died from cancer, even though we had the means to create a cure for her. Portal travel turned her cancer aggressive, making it kill her a month earlier than it would have normally. To summarise, I waited for the cure to be done, took enough to heal her, came back and did my best to avoid every possible mistake I ever could have made. And the first thing was to get Reza arrested before he could ever kill anyone. Also, we just mentioned the meteor in passing. I don't think Ipsum knew about that before, so yeah, much like he theorised, the barrier between timelines is faulty and flimsy. As such, other timelines can bleed in as false memories or vivid dreams, but nothing more than that. Meaning your theory of the world being able to self-repair might be true after all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if we could just create a timeline where we could just get past the last point in time where I ever travelled back, so we're not through the most weakest points of reality just yet, but it might just ease itself back to normal. But for that, I need you to trust me that I'm not here maliciously, even if my reasons aren't the most noble. He saved me from drowning last time that we saw each other, Ipsum. We can trust him. Trust him enough, even with that? With what? What do you mean? Oh. Well, I don't know. If he's a time traveller, shouldn't he already know? What do I do? Tell him Lorem's secret, or hug Lorem. Hugs. I get up and slowly walk closer to Lorem, looming over him with the big shadow I cast over the diminutive dragon. Before either of them could even say anything, I get down on my knees to be on eye level with him. And wrap the little blue dragon into a big bear hug. Of course I know you're a hermaphrodite, you dummy. And that doesn't change a single thing. You're still my friend. Do you seriously think if I had a problem with it, I would have hung out with you so many times wherever I had the chance to? I don't know what to say. I guess that settles it. You really are trustworthy. Good, because I think I'm going to need your help with the portal. Again. What do you mean? Well, Let's explain. There's a ghost. I proceeded to explain to Ipsum the only thing I couldn't really make heads or tails of, that being the odd hauntings of Amelia's ghost that had visited upon me. We tried to brainstorm some ideas as to why she suddenly became restless, as this was wholly new to the timeline. In the end, the only thing we could settle on is that the lack of deaths might be the culprit, so the next thing to explore was how to put her spirit to rest. And obviously, the only thing that ever came to mind was to try and prevent her death, but that's not exactly how time travel and the portal works. Do you have any ideas on what to do? I might have something in mind, but until then... I'll give Ipsum his notes from the other timeline. Is this my handwriting? Your other self gave me this to give to you. Apparently it's a coded message with all your findings of how the portal works and how it's controlled. You coded it specifically so that nobody, not even I, could use them recklessly to control the portal without your assistance, so you should give it a read. Oh yeah, I'll definitely do that once we get home. A message specifically for me, from another timeline. Just the thought of that's exciting. As this discussion died down, we started sitting in a bit of an awkward silence. So, right, this wasn't the only thing I invited you guys over for. Dinner. I invited you both over for dinner. I'm not seeing anything to eat here though. Right, that's because I wasn't sure about what was still edible in the kitchen. I also didn't know if you liked the same things in this timeline as the other ones, so let's just order something. Pizza, please. There are a few places nearby. Anything in mind? I'm not really in the mood to try something new. Me neither. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Pizza. Sounds good. Fine by me. Alright, let's just call Pantoddy's then. They already let us down with a treasure hunt and, near-death experience. Why do you think this will be different? They're the closest, and I haven't ordered from them in ages. Maybe for good reason. If they can't even get the treasure hunt right, I don't want to know what they do to their pizzas. It's just a pizza. How bad could it be? To be fair, you said that pizza sucks in the other timelines. Want to see if they're any different in this one? Now there's an experiment idea. Here, let me do the honours. Ipsum took the sphere from the base and started to manipulate its interface with his fingers. What are you doing? Looking up the menu. Lorem shuffles closer to Ipsum to see the menu more clearly. Let's see, even their smallest pizza is going to be pretty big for me. I'm famished actually, so you two could share one and I'll eat another. Sure, what toppings do you like? Salad? Still one of the weirdest toppings I've ever tried. Was that what I ordered in the other timelines? Always. Oh, interesting. What about you, Ipsum? I'm not in the mood for much, so I'm just going to stick with margarita. Wow. Okay, what do you want on yours? Pepperoni, ham and sweet corn, meat lovers. Meat lovers, let's do it. Got it. And it's done. The order has been placed. Pizza party. For the next 30 minutes, Lorem and Ipsum showed me many of the other and less useful features of the Ixman sphere pizza is top tier requirement. He made it levitate, showed me a primitive looking website, and even used it as a voice modulator. Obviously I'd already seen most of these tricks before, so Ipsum showed me some of the more advanced features Lorem skipped, like the taser function, media player, video recorder. Hello, it's pizza time. Lorem got up and walked to the door. From my place to the couch, I couldn't see anything, but heard a bit of talking before he returned to me, carrying the 2 square boxes. That was interesting. Let me guess, a Dean's the delivery flyer? Wow, it's almost like you've done this before. I just roll my eyes. It's not unusual for you to know each other. Your jobs are pretty similar. You did say she was one of those of us you were trying to keep alive, so I'm not surprised that she knows you. Though she did ask me what I was doing here, which was a bit strange. She always asks that. Maybe she's just trying to make small talk. Maybe. Lorem opened the box and showed me the pizza we'd ordered. Memories of days gone by raced through my head. Okay, let's get this pizza party started. Yeah, let's do it. I took one of the slices. On its surface, there was an obvious layer of grease that was sure to stain anything it came into contact with. That nice orange grease, yes. What do you think? It's been way too long, even across timelines. I guess you don't mind that we got Pantodis now, huh? With these words, he grabbed one of the slices on his half and bit into it. After chewing a few times, his expression suddenly twisted into a scowl. Something wrong? Now I remember why I haven't ordered from Pantodis for a while. Their pizza really does suck. I did warn you that you said that in every timeline. Looks like the experiment's over then. And on that note, Ibsen also bit into his own slice, only for his muzzle to contort too immediately. Oh, this is revoltingly bad. It's not that bad. Maybe you just haven't had a good pizza to compare it to. Hey, it's still better than nothing. Suppose. By the way, how's the game coming along? I don't know. It feels like I've hit a wall. Why is that? Maybe I got in over my head, you know. The more progress I make, the more it becomes apparent that I'll need a lot more help than I thought. So far, you're the only one who's been working on this, right? Yep, but I'm starting to realise that it won't work if I continue on like this. Why not? It would never be done, or if it was, it would be very different from what I'd like it to be, so something needs to change. I suppose I'm just worried, because once you start involving other people, things get a lot more complicated. How so? I've always been the odd one out, so I'm not sure how well I could work as a team. You have to find people, work out how to pay them, and how to divide the work. I guess I'm just starting to realise what kind of investment this would actually be. You sounded a lot more optimistic the last time we talked about this. Yeah, it's all fun and games when you're just thinking about ideas that you could turn into a game, but once you actually start working on it, it's a completely different story. At some point, it just becomes another job. Isn't that what you expected? Of course it is. I knew it would be a lot of work, but I guess I'm just not sure if it's all worth it. That depends on why you're making it in the first place. Last time you said that you had nothing to lose either way. Well, maybe I was wrong about that. I do have something to lose. What's that? Myself. I'm not sure if I'm ready to do what's necessary to finish what I started. If you think about it, what's the worst that could happen? Investing a lot of time and money only to end up with nothing in the end? I could end up disappointing those who played the game, those who collaborated with me, and lastly, myself. And that's what you're worried about? That's what being a creator's like. If you put in tons of work and effort into something, you want people to like it, right? If that's not what's going to happen, why do it in the first place? I mean, this is deeply relatable, must be said. But you're not doing this for other people, are you? It's your game, and your idea after all. Right, but you're not trying to cater to someone else, so what other people think is not important. Besides, what they think is outside of your control anyway. Just look at what happened with Pantodis. Why do you think their pizza sucks? They probably cut a lot of corners during production with the ingredients. They value quantity over quality and are only trying to get as many pizzas out as possible to satisfy demand. They're cheap and the pizza tastes like it. Okay, but they're still in business, so this must be working out for them somehow. Even if you don't like it, they're offering something that other people clearly want. They probably don't give a damn about whether or not you like the pizza. I'm sure they don't. They just give people what they want, and that's why they stay in business. Are you saying that I won't be successful if I don't cater to others? No, I'm saying that unless being successful is their goal, you don't need to cater to anybody else. Because if you did, you'd end up like Pantodis, and you really would lose yourself. I guess you have a point. So what if other people like the greasy pizzas? That's not what you want to do. Certainly not. You said yourself that your philosophy is to focus on the things you can change. So, what are your options here? Instead of pizza, we have calzone. A wise person once said, do or do not. There is no try. Not doing this has never been an option for me. Then you make the most of it, and nothing else matters. I think you're right. I should just focus on getting things done as best I can. Who knows? Maybe you're wrong about Pantodis. Maybe they're actually a big family restaurant with a rich tradition and history, and that's why people like them. No, I think it's just because they have cheap pizzas. Now would be the part of the conversation that you reveal your secret to me, actually. And that's the reason why your anxiety is how much people shun you, even those you once considered friends once they know. I just pat him on the head. But you've got nothing to worry about with me. Yes, it's always a gamble to talk about it, But if they can't see you for who you really are beyond the superficial, that's their problem. Your life is better off without them. Maybe the next person I tell is going to become violent. How can I put myself out there when this could happen wherever I go? You know what I mean? What will people do when they find out about me in my game? I just don't know. That's what I'm worried about. You can't please everybody, nor should you have to. That's nice of you to say, and we'll break their nose if they try it. Maybe. We should probably go soon though, it's getting late. Actually, I'd prefer it if you two stayed. What? Why? With you on board to help us, the last piece of the puzzle's finally in its place. The only thing that was left for me to do is to make sure that Adine survives the upcoming competition, either by making sure she doesn't get injured or she forfeits. Thanks to Naomi's intervention, that won't be an issue anymore, which only left you and Lorem that I needed to convince to help me. As such, it would be prudent to set things in motion as soon as possible. I thought we concurred that we don't have a proper plan though. I thought about it, but I believe there's a way. If multiverse theory really is the truth, and then we can pull another Amelia forward from the past, sure it might not be the same as preventing our timeline's Amelia from dying, but there's no other idea I could come up with. And how do you propose to make such a plan work? Stay for a bit while I call everybody, you'll see. Okay, let's have a whip round. I really have no other choice in the matter. I think we're going to have to do this in the next episode. This is going to be a huge undertaking, so we are going to rescue Amelia very, very soon. This is it for now. This is Osho signing off, and hopefully I will see you next time.